What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for the Manchester City versus Bournemouth match preview. So we're going to start off with this video. We're going to start off with our opponents first, Bournemouth. Eddie Howe is continuing to do well with Bournemouth. It's been happening now for a few years. They're 8th in the league. They're hot on Manchester United's heels, but sorry to say, Bournemouth, we don't plan on giving you 3 points in this game to help you catch up to Manchester United. We need the 3 points ourselves. Bournemouth, going into this run of form, if we was facing them a month ago, I'd say this would be quite a tricky game, even at home. But their form over the last few weeks or so, not being that great. They've picked up 1 win in 4 Premier League games. And Bournemouth, they've lost the last 3 Premier League games. So they're going in with a form, going in against Manchester City away. Going to find it extremely difficult being able to do that. But they do possess some good qualities, Bournemouth, that can cause a lot of problems. They play some nice football. They're nice to watch on the eye. They're not a sluggish team. They're not a team that likes to hoof the ball. They're not a team that likes to do nasty challenges and get into your face. They're not a team that likes to park the bus either. I'm not too sure. They took their philosophy from last season was to be more defensive because they got battered the season before against us, which worked-ish for them. However, Bournemouth's best attributes aren't defending. Their best attributes is being able to play the ball, pass the ball, move the ball forward. They've got quick players, particularly up front, Callum Wilson and King too. The 2 very quick strikers that can cause a lot of problems. So their way to be would be to try and beat Manchester City's press, which is easier said than done, be able to play the ball into space and allow Wilson and King to be able to run at Manchester City's defence. When we was getting ran at against Lyon, we looked struggling at times. Obviously players like Memphis Depay was causing a lot of problems being able to run at our defenders, and the defenders, particularly at times, looked not clueless, but looked like they didn't know when to step forward and when not to be able to do that. And the way to do that is you need a strong midfield behind Bournemouth, and Bournemouth haven't got the quality. No offence, Bournemouth, they've not got the quality of Lyon's midfield to be able to cause that problem in the first place. So they're going to have to try and beat our press. So it's going to be very difficult for them to do that. However, I do have a lot of respect for Bournemouth. I like Bournemouth. I like Eddie Howe. I like how he sets up. I like the players. I like Callum Wilson. I think he's a good striker. I think King's a good player too. They've got other quick players that can play out on the wings. They've got other players. I'm not too sure if players like Stanislas and that will end up playing. But they've got players out there that have got a lot of pace in them to be able to cause us problems and run at us. However, when you're pinned in, pace isn't really an option. You just got to kind of try and weather the storm. So for Bournemouth, try and stay in the game as long as possible and don't concede early is the key. For Manchester City, we're just going to do what Manchester City do, pass it around, high press, high line. That's pretty much it for Man City, really. They have a lot of passes. They like to work the ball through the middle. They like the wingers to stay wide, then cut in. Players like Aguero can drift in, drift deep, drift out wide. It creates all kinds of problems, and it's so difficult being able to track Manchester City because the players can be here one moment and they're moving over here, they're moving over here. There's so much movement, it's very unpredictable to be able to track Manchester City. So the way being able to deal with that is you need to not make mistakes. Like I said, it's easier said than done. It's a very difficult game for Bournemouth. For injury news for City, luckily for Bournemouth, there's no Kevin De Bruyne still. There's no Benjamin Mendy, so that obviously eases the pressure a bit because Benjamin Mendy obviously a very good attacking player when going forward at left back. And Kevin De Bruyne, we don't need to talk about his quality because everyone knows his quality. They've got a possibility that we're not going to have any Gundogan or Gabriel Jesus in this game either. They were injured. I'm not too sure what their fitness is like at the moment and whether they're training. I'm waiting for Pep's press conference. I've done this video before the press conference, so I don't know. But if they're fit to play, then I imagine they might make the bench rather than going slotting in because they've obviously been out for a week. I'm not too sure they're going to slot into our team considering we've got players on the bench that will want some game time that obviously are fit and raring to go. So I imagine they'll probably get the chance ahead of players like Gundogan and Jesus if they're fit to go on the bench. We've also got no Claudio Bravo too, obviously he's out injured, so we're still going to have Muric on the bench. And last but not least, we're thinking Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva is meant to be back for this game, so it'll be interesting to see if he is back, whether he'll end up starting. I said Gundogan and Jesus won't start in this game. Bernardo Silva's in the exact same predicament. However, Bernardo Silva is kind of the only player, because De Bruyne is out injured, that can slot in David Silva's role. And David Silva will need a rest. He can't play 90 minutes all games throughout December. I'm looking at games where the players can get breaks. I'm thinking this game, I'm thinking the Hoffenheim game, I'm thinking the Leicester game coming up in a few weeks too, of games where these players like David Silva can have a little rest. and it's a good opportunity then for other players to come in, and if Bernardo Silva's fit and can play, then I'd go with him ahead of David Silva. I'll pop up my team prediction in a moment. I'm just going to talk you through my score prediction first. I'm going for 3-0 Manchester City. I don't think this game will be easy. I don't think it'll be straightforward. I think there'll be a lot of problems going forward from Bournemouth that Man City have to deal with. I don't think we'll have it all our own way. I don't think it'll be like other teams that you've seen where we can have a 75, 80, 85 even % possession. I think it'll be more closer to 60, 65% possession. I think in terms of shots, if City aren't clinical, it'll keep the score down. If we are clinical, then it could be a bad day for Bournemouth. For Bournemouth, they'll look to try and get a lead. If they can get a lead and have something to defend with, then it'd be great for them. It'd be interesting to see if Eddie Howe goes for a more defensive approach like he did last season, or whether he'll just stick to his game and see what happens. And if that happens, we could be in for a nice scoreline. Not saying for Manchester City, but we could have both teams to score. For example, you could see 5, 6, 7 goals in the game. Not necessarily 5, 6, 7-0, but we might be looking at like a 4-1 or a 5-1 or a 5-2, something like that. So I'm going to pop up my team prediction now. Bearing in mind, we've got Watford on Tuesday. We've got Chelsea away on Saturday. We've then got Hoffenheim, where we want to finish top of the Champions League, the Tuesday after. So we've got so many games coming up in the space of, what, is it 11, 12 days or so? So, like I said, expect some rest for some players. So I've gone for Ederson in goal, Kyle Walker. I was tempted to go with Danilo. I think Danilo might get given the run out, possibly against Watford. Even in this game, I just went for Walker because I've gone for some changes elsewhere. I don't think there'll be loads of changes. I just think there'll be maybe 2, 3, 4 maximum. Gone for Company and Laporte. Again, I'm not too sure about Laporte. Laporte's played every single Premier League game, I think, and he looks so solid. I'd feel harsh to drop him. He'll need a rest eventually, and it'll be coming. I just don't see this as the game to do that. I might be wrong. So I've gone for Company and Laporte. I've gone for Delph at left back. We went with Zinchenko against Lyon, so I've gone for Delph for this game. Fernandinho, because we literally don't have any cover. I've gone for Phil Foden to get some minutes. Phil Foden possibly could have had some minutes against Lyon. He didn't. We're still none the wiser in terms of Gundogan, like I said. So if Gundogan is fit to play, we might see him go in there. But I see this as an ideal opportunity for Phil Foden to have a start. And if he's not going to start when we've got all these injuries, when is he going to start, is my question. So I see this as the ideal opportunity for Phil Foden to start, and if it doesn't work out, you can substitute him after 60 minutes or so. Give him 60 minutes run out, see what he can do. I've gone for Bernardo Silva if he's fit to play. If he's not, then it'll be David Silva there. David Silva will need a rest eventually. If Bernardo Silva's fit to go against Watford and not in this game, then we might see David Silva not playing that game. I'm just saying this is a home game. This should probably be more straightforward than what I'm anticipating Watford away being. I've gone for Mahrez, Sterling and Aguero. Just purely because we always have rotation up top, and like I said, once Jesus is back, we'll see Aguero then have some rest. But Aguero, particularly in the second half against Lyon, looked very clinical and looked back to his best. I'm hoping to see the same again against Bournemouth in this game. So there we go, that's been the preview. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Don't forget in the comments below, leave me your score and team prediction for this game, and any opposition views, any Bournemouth fans in there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and how you think the game will go and what you think will happen. Also, don't forget to subscribe, put your push notifications on, so press the bell next to the subscribe button. That'll then notify you when I've uploaded. I'm aiming for 2,000 subscribers. We're 10 away, I think, now from 1,800, so it'll be ace to be able to hit that over the next day or so. So if you like the content and you enjoy watching my videos, then make sure you do subscribe and put your push notifications on. Also, don't forget to check out my social media links. They're in the description below, along with my emails when I hit with any sponsorships or any business enquiries or anything like that. Then just hit me up on my email. Leave the links up to my second channel, which is my vlog channel, travel channel, whatever you want to call it or say, where I basically film stuff when I go on holiday and life and stuff like that. Jason Sidlow, Travel Man. Leave the link to that at the end of the video. Along with my brother's partner channel, Mix It Do, Mix Holiday Drinks. If you want to go and check them out, like and subscribe over there. Like and subscribe over here. Don't forget to share the video if you enjoyed the video. Help my channel grow and help the video grow, because it really helps me out. And I'll see you all again for the match analysis up after the game against Bournemouth tomorrow. So I'll see you then. So it's been JSGC. Have a wonderful rest of your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Peace. Ciao for now.